Alright, welcome back to another Art of War 3 replay. I'm your host, JEONG SINAH, and today we're going to be doing a 2v2 battle here. I'm going to be the green Confederate player, and my ally is going to be a random ally. They're going to be the blue Confederate player. So let's go and get into it. We're going to be facing off against two resistance players on this map. One of them, the yellow player, is a rank 19 player from the N.B.K.S clan. They have a 74% win rate, and the other player is a resistance player with a win rate of 67%. They are a rank 17 player. So let's get into what's happening on the battlefield. My ally is going for a highly questionable build here with fortresses, trying to secure the early game resources, but poorly micros, doesn't even get that third container. Meanwhile, I'm already HQ3 teching up to get some ground units out on the battlefield. My ally is mass producing fortresses and has 2 supply centers. That is a highly questionable build. Look at my ally's base. What is my ally doing? I have no idea. My ally has a 3rd supply center out now and is just mass producing fortresses and infantry. Meanwhile, I've got 6 supply centers out. I'm sending a hammer tank over to scout the yellow player. We don't have a good scout on red or yellow yet, so let's go ahead and take a look to see what they're up to. Yellow is very fast. They are going for the fast HQ4 build. It looks like they're going to go for some aviation and Jaguar tanks. We see a Hawk that's already been produced. So I'm going to try to maneuver my hammer over towards the red player to get a scout on red, but I don't know if my hammer is going to make it. Looks like my ally is telling me to attack. That is a terrible idea. I do not have enough ground troops yet. Even though yellow doesn't have any forces out yet, they can muster a defense very quickly. We see some Hawks dish out some damage against my hammer tanks there. I need to get out some more Typhoons before I make a push onto the yellow player. But meanwhile, my ally has a 4th supply center now. We see a Coyote there dishing out some damage against my riflemen there. Excuse me, my assaults there. Looks like that Coyote is coming in to get a scout on my base. Looks like my ally is dropping some more infrastructure down. I've got a 3rd assault vehicle factory out, and I'm going to go for a triple hammer and infantry production. And I'm going to support that with Typhoons. That's the current plan for this battle. So I'm sending my army to go ahead and clean up this Coyote here. We take out the Coyote very nicely. Here comes Red. Red's coming in with Hawks. I'm going to throw on a gold air raid boost. And looks like yellow's coming in with the Hawks as well, so both red and yellow coming after me. Look at the damage being dished out on the Hawks. Red's going to lose 2 Hawks there, and yellow looks like it's going to lose 1 Hawk and take some heavy damage as well. So this is why you should max out your Typhoons. Max Typhoons do a lot of damage against Hawks. So we can see here, my ally is still spamming fortresses. They are trying to secure this resource container, but this is probably the worst possible composition possible to fight dragonflies. It looks like red might be going for a mass dragonfly strategy. So we can see that there's some more scouting happening from the yellow player. My allies' forces are meanwhile getting cleaned up by those dragonflies. I'm going to make a move onto the big container on my side. Looks like yellow was trying to secure that resource container, but I'm going to push a ground assault there, and I just want to secure those resources for myself. That way I can deny the opponent and also get resources for unit production. Hawks come in, they're going to dish out some damage there, but they're not going to get too close because I've got those Typhoons. Here comes the red player. Red's moving in some dragonflies now to the side of the base. So I'm going to go ahead and launch an assault now. Looks like yellow's got 5 Hawks in play now. And we can see that we've got some decent ground troops from the yellow player. Meanwhile, red trying to make the push onto my ally. My ally defending the red player so far. I'm making a big push onto the yellow player. This is a very aggressive move. We can see that yellow is double assault vehicle factory and has 1 AV factory, so it looks like they're going for a mass Jaguar build. Here comes the red player though. Red sending in some dragonflies to reinforce their ally. So some priority targets right now include those airfields and the factories. So I've got my hammer tanks in the back dishing out damage. My infantry are in the front trying to clean up some of those supply centers and infrastructure as much as possible. Let's see if we can get this airfield before my hammer tanks get taken out. So we can see here, my allies just sending some affirmatives. They are sending me thoughts and prayers as they launch my attack. Looks like I'm not going to be able to finish off that airfield. And I don't know what happened here. I think this was a miss micro, but my Typhoons here are on observation mode, which I did not intend to do. So some Jaguar tanks are now starting to dish damage against my Typhoons. Meanwhile, my ally is launching a poorly coordinated assault. These heavy assaults are not being coordinated. They do not have any support to counter the Hawks, and they do not have any support to counter the infantry. So these infantry are just getting absolutely shredded. We see Reds producing some Grenadiers to go with the Dragonflies. In the meantime, I need to regroup my troops before I make another push on to Yellow. I've made some good progress, but I'm going to need to pull back. I'm doing a little bit of poor micro here. I need to reset my rally point towards the middle of the map there. Part of this was me being distracted by how poorly my ally was playing. We can see my ally still playing on HQ2. We're already 15 minutes into the game. Blue's just slowly making an army. We're going to make another push now. And here comes my ground troop. That's a lot of Jaguar tanks and sniper towers. So Yellow was able to very quickly put up a pretty strong defensive line. Let's see how that defensive line holds up. So I don't have an attack boost going just yet. I've got the production boost, trying to get reinforcements to the front line as fast as possible. So now I got my hammer tanks and heavy assaults though starting to punch through that front line. Looks like my ally is going to send a handful of hammer tanks over. Hawks are trying to dish out damage from the Yellow side, but those Hawks are taking some heavy damage from my Typhoons. Red coming in trying to reinforce. Those Hawks get shredded by my Typhoons. Yellow and Red are pretty desperate at this point, trying to defend my assault here. The fact that they're using Hawks means that Yellow does not have any more ground troops to counter. Meanwhile, Red is launching a counterattack with these Dragonflies, trying to make a push to break my ally here. But I don't know if they'll be successful. So I'm not sure if my ally can hold out. So I'm going to try to finish off the Yellow player and make this into a 1v2. I think if we can do that, that'll give us a good chance to win the game. My ally's reinforcements have arrived. Here comes a handful of hammer tanks coming in. My ally is under pressure here. They do not have that many anti-air units. There's only a handful of things that can counter those Dragonflies. I'm going to flag that assault vehicle factory. I'm going to tell my ally to hit the factory. So my ally is going to hit the factory. That level 3 factory is going to go down. Meanwhile, Dragonfly is trying to take out this bunker. Assaults are starting to pour in for my ally. We're going to go ahead and finish off that other assault vehicle factory. So no more Jaguar production for the Yellow player. Yellow is in trouble. They only have the AVF factory left. And it looks like we're going to be able to finish off this AVF factory shortly. And that's just going to leave Yellow with a couple barracks here. Our ground forces are continuing to clean up the remainder of Yellow's base, and looks like Red is not going to be able to send reinforcements to help out. Here comes Red though with the Dragonflies. A little bit too late though, and that is not going to be enough Dragonflies. I've got a good mix of heavy assaults and Typhoons. Meanwhile, Red is trying to make a one last push onto Blue with the Grenadiers and Dragonflies. These Dragonflies here trying to take care of my forces though. Not going to be enough again. Looks like Red is slowly losing the fight on both fronts here. Red cannot fight a 2v1. They do not have the firepower to do so. Both my ally and I both have the rank advantage on the Red player. So, got a few fire assaults coming in here just to reinforce my ally. Fire assaults are doing a great job cleaning up those Grenadiers. Meanwhile, my ally is moving their hammer tanks into the base of Red. We see Red was very well developed, had a full HQ4 base previously, but it looks like that is not going to be able to save them at this time. My ally is going to clean up this AVF factory here, so that's going to cut some of that production for the Red player. So Red's in big trouble here. Red's still trying to attack here, but these last couple Dragonflies are going to get cleaned up by my ally. My ally here is going to clean up that other AVF factory. I tell my ally that we should try and do contracts, but at this time I double check to see if I had any contracts I could do, and at this time I was not able to complete any. So at this point it's pretty much good game. The rest of this is just going to be the two of us just cleaning up the Red player's base. Hopefully you all enjoyed this battle and learned something new, and that new thing is always have caution when going with random allies.